statement on the upcoming National Youth Council NYC elections. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, partners, stakeholders, and fellow youth, thank you for joining us today as we announce and elaborate on the upcoming National Youth Council NYC elections, an exercise that reaffirms our nation's and the Kenya Kwanza government's commitment to youth empowerment and democratic inclusion. The National Youth Council is established under the National Youth Act, Chapter 132 of the Laws of Kenya, the NYC Act. Section 5 of the Act provides for the establishment of the Council as the apex governing organ of the NYC. The Council comprises 8 elected youth and not more than 8 youth nominated by the Cabinet Secretary. The first NYC elections were held in 2012. These elections involved a rigorous process from the grassroots to the national level, culminating in the appointment of 16 youth in accordance with the NYC Act. The Council's initial term ended in 2016, and the then Cabinet Secretary opted to renew the terms of eligible members for an additional 3-year period. By operation of law, the first Council's tenure lapsed in 2019. To facilitate the conduct of fresh elections, the National Youth Council elections of certain council members regulations were enacted in the year 2021, pursuant to the Statutory Instruments Act. These regulations provided a legal foundation for conducting NYC elections in 2022. However, due to the fact the year fell within the general election cycle, the NYC elections were postponed. In 2023, the reorganization of government affected the planning of NYC elections. Subsequently, a proposed NYC amendment bill introduced by Honorable Joshua Kandie, MP, sought to transition from elections to competitive selection through the county youth directors. The bill was not adopted, having been deemed inconsistent with Article 55B of the Constitution of Kenya. In November 2024, pursuant to Section 4 of the 2021 regulations, the Cabinet Secretary appointed a National Steering Committee to coordinate the NYC elections at all levels. Thereafter, the ministry initiated extensive stakeholder engagement and resource mobilization to support election logistics. On Tuesday, 21st July 2025, the Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Salim Mvurya, Cabinet Secretary in charge of the State Department, the Ministry for Youth, Creative Economy and Sports, the Honorable Salim Mvurya announced the decision of the Cabinet, which approved a memorandum requesting the authority to hold NYC elections. They are allocating resources to conduct the exercise. This then has made it possible to proceed with preparations to hold the elections in a structured, inclusive, and consultative process. In fact, my office, as at yesterday, is in receipt of a letter from the Cabinet Secretary giving this communication and equally giving the State Department the go-ahead to conduct the elections. So, like I said, it gives us now the avenue to do the preparations to hold the elections in a structured, inclusive, and consulted process. The election structure. The National Youth Council NYC elections are designed to ensure that youth across all parts of Kenya can participate in choosing their leaders fairly and transparently. The process is structured in 4 clear stages. And this is the act. It is not my wisdom or unsolicited wisdom to that, for that matter. Number 1, nominations. To become a candidate, a youth must be nominated by at least 50 registered youth voters. 2. Ward level elections. Youth in each ward will vote for 6 leaders. That is 3 male and 3 female. These elected leaders become ward delegates, representing their areas in the next stage. Therefore, a total of 8,700 ward delegates will be elected nationwide, considering that we have 1480 wards in Kenya. Number 3, constituency level elections. All wards delegates from our constituency will elect 2 youth, that is 1 male and 1 female. These become constituency delegates who will represent their region at the National Youth Congress. Therefore, a total of 580 delegates will be elected, covering all the 290 constituencies in Kenya. Number 4, the National Youth Congress. This national level is where the final leadership is elected. The National Youth Congress is comprised of 580 constituency delegates who elect 8 council members and nominate up to 8 others, all of whom will be appointed to the council by the cabinet secretary as per the NYC Act. Additionally, the National Youth Congress will nominate 31 substitutes members to ensure smooth governance transition. Eligibility requirements. To vie in these elections, a youth must, 1, and this is the regulation, it's not my unsolicited decision or opinion. To vie in these elections, a youth must be under 35 years old on the 31st December of the election year. 2, must have at least a secondary or high school certificate. 3, provide a police clearance certificate or a recommendation letter from the area chief. Meet the threshold of Chapter 6 of the Constitution on leadership and integrity. And lastly, make considerations for people with disability. That is actually a factor which the regulation is very clear about. More information. The National Youth Council will continue to publish more information through press, of course, by such briefings, through the NYC website and social media accounts, through the State Department's accounts, and additionally, the Cabinet Secretary will shortly hereafter gazette the election dates. That is the regulation. It has to be gazetted before it can formally kick off. The priority following this announcement will be planning for the civic education and engagement process. This is the law. Just like the other IBC conducted general elections, the NYC election or the NYC Act provides for planning through beginning with the civic education and engagement process, just like another election. So it is as serious as that. Our clarion call to the youth of Kenya. The future belongs to those who step up and lead. We urge all Kenyan youth to rise, to register, and participate actively in the upcoming National Youth Council elections. These elections are an opportunity to vote and amplify your voice, articulate your vision, and establish your rightful place in shaping leadership at the national level. As I have indicated earlier, the last NYC election was conducted in 2012. Personally, I was in Form 2 in 2012. That means a majority of us might not have gotten an opportunity to participate in it. So, this is an opportunity for us to participate. And I invite you to participate fully in this. Your involvement will help forge a council that truly represents your aspirations values, and potential. And to our stakeholders, we call upon all public and private stakeholders to stand in support of this critical democratic exercise. Your engagement is essential in safeguarding the integrity of the election process, fostering inclusive youth participation, and upholding the spirit and intent of Article 55 of our Constitution of Kenya. And to our development and institutional partners, we extend our earnest appeal to our partners to provide both financial and in-kind support towards the successful rollout of the NYC elections. Your backing will ensure logistical efficiency, civic education outreach, and seamless coordination across all phases of the electoral process, laying a foundation for transformative youth governance. Let me conclude by thanking His Excellency the President of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, for once again demonstrating his commitment to the empowerment of Kenya's youth through the nod in approving our budget as we stand to conduct our elections. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Signed by me, Fikirini Jacobs Gives, the Principal Secretary.